find our links again. A few minutes to cool down is a great help, and especially too as the machine cools down a little. I don't know what I'm drawing at the moment. Sometimes I've just got a pen that is going its own way. I think I've got a very elderly lady, and she's very, very tiny.
Ik weet niet wat ik teken. En soms gaat het pen uit zijn eigen, maar er is nu een oudere dame en het is een hele kleine vrouw.
She is very short and very small, a petite lady.
Het is heel kort en klein.
But a very big personality.
Met een sterke persoonlijkheid.
Little in body, but tall inside.
Haar lichaam is klein, maar ze is groot van binnenuit.
She could be very excitable.
Ze kan heel opgewonden zijn.
And very sympathetic.
En heel sympathiek.
And she gives me an awful backache.
En ze heeft een enorme rugpijn.
I feel that she is of the continent and not of the UK.
Yes, I was trying to work out what nationality, and she certainly isn't English.
Ik voel dat ze van het vasteland komt en niet uit Engeland. En Carol zegt, ik zal proberen nationaliteit te achterhalen.
My French is very limited, but I wanted to say she is très petite.
De kennis van Frans is heel beperkt, maar ik moet zeggen dat ze is heel klein, zegt hij.
And when excited was very talkative.
En als ze opgewonden was, dan deed ze heel druk.
It's an interesting mixture here, in the sense that in some ways I feel she was quite elderly, but she wasn't old in her outlook.
Young in heart.
Ze was jong van hart en een interessante mix, die vrouw.
She had great difficulty in obtaining shoes which she liked to fit her.
Ze had altijd erg veel moeilijkheden om de schoenen te vinden waar ze van hield en die er pasten.
And was quite elegant because she often wore silk blouses.
En ze was elegant, want ze droeg graag zijden blouses.
She's not talking to me for some reason.
Ze zegt niks tegen me om een of andere reden.
I had turned to look at her hair as she is showing you, but I know that when she was younger it was quite curly.
Actually, it's quite curly here.
En als ik het bekijk, dan laat ze de haar zien dat het heel kruld was.
As though it bounced freely and was very light, not heavy hair.
En het was vrij dun haar en heel licht gekleurd.
She was elegant when she went out and would have worn gloves on her hands.
Als ze uitging, zag ze er altijd heel elegant uit en dan droeg ze handschoenen.
Oh, and she was a fine needlewoman.
En ze was heel goed met naaien.
I'm sorry I'm not getting anything else about her, Eileen, but she's just concentrating so hard on the drawing with me that she's not saying a word to me.
She again is thinking of her hands. It is not just the gloves. She had a reason for trying to keep her hands warm and taking care of them when she could no longer do her needlework.
En ze denkt steeds aan de handen. Ze had een hele goede reden om haar handen te beschermen met die handschoenen. Want er was iets met de handen en daardoor kon ze dat naaiwerk niet meer doen.
Very upright, although she's old. She's corrected that to elderly. Although she was elderly, she was very upright and very well corseted in here. She makes me feel very slim and very well kept. She kept her figure.
trouwens altijd, ze hadden altijd een soort corselet aan, want ze stelden de prijs ook prima uit te zien. Heel slang.
And she had a most decided accent when she spoke.
Ze had een heel speciaal accent als ze sprak.
She spoke clearly and distinctly.
Ze sprak duidelijk en met overtuiging.
And I think it is a French vibration. It is definitely not English.
En ik denk dat er een Franse klank in zit. Het is absoluut niet Engels.
Yes, I must admit, Eileen, my first thought was that she was French, so I'm sure you're correct.
Ja, ik moet bekennen, Eileen, dat mijn eerste indruk was ook Frans.
I have an impression of her coming out of a large building. It might be apartments or hotel.
Ik heb de indruk dat ze uit een heel groot gebouw komt en dat we in een flat zijn of een hotel.
And it is in a town area or city area.
En dit is in een stadscentrum, een stadsgedeelte.
And she was known to the local residents.
En haar omgeving, die kenden haar heel goed.
As if she was one of the elder statesmen or dignitaries. She had a standing of some kind.
Ja, alsof ze iets daar te vertellen had en of dat ze iets regelde daar in de omgeving waar ze woonde. Dat is een soort bepaalde status.
She would have been known to the dignitaries of the town where she was living.
En waarschijnlijk was ze ook bekend met de wethouders.
I feel I've got a very shrewd lady here. I don't know whether that's translatable, that word.
Ik krijg een intelligente vrouw hier.
She was always known as Madame. You know, there was no... you had to be careful how you addressed her.
En iedereen kent haar als madame en je moest voorzichtig met haar omgaan.
Now, who's she making sense
Can
to?
I ask you, she has been bigger when she was younger and shrink when she got old.
She was small when she was old,
Yes.
and always small made. Her bones, her hands and feet were always small.
No, then it's not fair, because my grandmother was French, but she was
She was well built when she was younger.
but she was taller.
Oh, no.
No, then she's not good.
She has not given me that yet.
No.
Does it look like her?
A little bit, but not.
No, it doesn't. She doesn't seem to respond.
No, I don't feel that's right.
No, I don't think it is.
She's very, very, very straight, very upright. Does she make any sense to anyone else?
There's a lady here, Christine. Not sure yet. No, I feel from her from the beginning that she was always small made, with small hands and feet. She may have been rounder when younger, but in that petite, elderly, but very upright condition she brings. She is what I call one of the old school.
Ik voel dat het iemand is van, wat je zou zeggen, iemand van de oude school.
Have you been doing something recently with curtains, or are you buying new curtains? She's talking about curtains.
It's the second time today that a medium speak to me about curtains.
Does it mean something to you?
Yes, for my daughter.
Oh, okay.
Ik praat steeds over gordijnen en over iemand die iets te maken heeft met nieuwe gordijnen. Ik praat daar steeds over best.
This lady I have already said when visiting nearly always wore silk blouses, but there is something else. She had some very nice jewelry, rings in particular.
Ik heb al gezegd dat ze graag zijden blouses droeg, maar ze was erg gesteld op juwelen.
This is how she conveys jewelry, tells me about jewelry by showing me rings. She means jewelry.
En ze laten haar de ringen zien.
I mean, I have been to your house, so, but I can't remember. Can you hear church bells from where you live? Because she keeps on talking about the bells, and I can't remember that much, but I have visited this house. But that's what she comes out with, about the bells, and they ring quite frequently, don't they?
Ik ben in uw huis geweest, maar ik kan me niet meer herinneren of u vanuit uw huis kerkklokken kon worden laten. Maar ze blijft praten over kerkklokken.
And she has not shown you yet something she used to wear around her neck, around here. Not here, hanging down, here.
Was it a ribbon or something?
Yes, always.
Like
I
a
was trying to
velvet.
make out what we got there.
Velvet ribbon.
First of all, I thought it was a high neck dress, but it's this ribbon that
Yeah.
I've got.
It is, I'm feeling it all the time here.
En ze laat nu een lint zien die ze op een hals droeg van.
Now that looks better. She feels satisfied. That is the identity. The point of identity.
Dat is de bevestiging van de identiteit.
Oh. Yes. There is a picture of her when she was young, as a young woman, and there is someone, family, on the earth today, at the same age when her picture was taken. They look very, very much alike.
En er is een foto samen met mensen die nog op de aarde zijn, die op dezelfde tijd dat de foto genomen is, heel erg op haar lijken.
Oh, and she had a little habit when speaking of clearing her throat before she spoke in the latter part of her life. Is this
Ze schaamde altijd de keel voordat ze begon te spreken.
May I ask, would she have linked with a city or dwelt or visited a great deal, a city, rather than a small town?
Oh, she turned from her son to her daughter to the other son, so she
I
traveled.
want to go into the city and out again, and into the city and out again.
Ze ging vaak heen en weer naar de stad waar haar zoon woonde.
Now you have a gentleman, yes?
So a lady,
A
but a
gentleman with...
totally different lady. Totally different. A very stout, rather bossy sort of lady who would have worked incredibly hard all her life.
Een soort vrede en nogal.
I'm aware there's a gentleman with her too, so let me try and find out about the lady.
Die er heel leven hard heeft gewerkt.
She is very soft-hearted, very quiet and placid.
But she worked incredibly hard.
Ze werkte ontzettend hard.
With her hands and with her